What's up, everybody? Malby13. Okay, I need to get your attention. Watch this video. Now that you've watched that, let me just point out that what you're watching here is TeslaBot at real-time speed, which is really important. It's not sped up. You're watching the TeslaBot working. They said that they wanted to put TeslaBot to work at the Tesla factory or whatever, the battery farm, whatever. So what we're seeing is that they tasked the Tesla robot with grabbing these batteries individual and putting them in this container so that they can process them, put them into battery packs and stuff like that. Now I have a chance to explain what they're showing you, and so they're basically saying the robot's doing this all on its own in autonomous mode. A helper is just putting the batteries in place so that the robot can access them. I'll just explain what they're explaining to you while you watch the video. And they're basically saying that Tesla Bot is using its cameras and hand tactile and force sensors to do the job that it's doing. Then they go on to say that Optimus robot balances on its legs while the net drives the entire upper body. So they're trying to say that the robot can walk to any place in a factory and then it can get to work balancing with no stabilizer, no need for it to sit down or have a seat or anything to brace it. So they seem to think that the robot can do a very good balancing act and work in a normal fashion without doing anything like that, which is a good thing to point out. The easy things seem easy, but they can be hard to achieve for a robot. I like what I'm seeing because I'm seeing it graceful. I'm seeing it expertly balancing, and there's no sway. There's no, nothing that makes you think, oh, wow, it has to compensate or anything like that. So that's good. So they're saying that the job that it's doing, putting the batteries, it has to grab the battery and then put it in a very tight spot. So it needs a lot of precision to do this correctly every time. Now this is a really important part that they're showing you, that not only can the robot do it repeatable, but it also will correct and fix a mistake that it does, which is what this is all about. Anyone can program a robot to do the motion over and over and over, but to have the robot autonomously perform the task and correct itself like a person would, now we're talking about a 2024 to 2025 humanoid robot. They point out that the robot recovers from mistakes by itself with no intervention. And what we're seeing is that they are repeating this test on multiple units. So you have many different Optimus in the same testing environment. Now this is good as a scientist for testing. It's repeating. You're seeing much more data because you're seeing it from different robots, the same type of robot. And what you're seeing is that the manufacturing of the robots is staying consistent. That is to say that if you program, or if the robot can achieve it autonomously, then it could be any of the robots, because they're building them with a tolerance that's tight, so that they're building them all very similarly. Then you can control them and know what they're going to do and how they're going to do it. So that means that that's a testament to the quality of building Optimus Bot. So this particular task, they go on to point out that the training data was collected by a person teleoperating the motion. So they put the robot in its place, they told it to stand there, and then they said, we're going to teach you how to do putting the batteries in the container. And that would be just like a person, right? So if you were to explain to a person, I want you to put the batteries in, you'd have them stand there and then you'd show them how to do it and you tell them specifically, you know what, I don't want you to just put the batteries randomly inside the container. I want you to put the batteries one by one, whatever it is, starting from the top, from the left to the right, or starting from the bottom to the left to the right. So if you give it to that specificity, the robot can do it, and a person could do it if you make sure that's important. If you don't mention it, or it may not be important. So they might just put it in randomly and say, here, I filled the box, which may or may not be the correct task, right? But focusing on this teleoperation, it's a good way to go for a factory environment. They will be able to do this. Optimus went this route, and that's because they were early on creating their robot system with its sensors and its ability to navigate and all these types of things that it does. Instead of trying to figure out how to do the task completely on its own, it's way too open and vague for a robot that doesn't have our knowledge base, nor does it have a system to execute that. So then they go on to say that they're testing it in the factory. Interesting to note that as the robot is doing this task, there's a decreasing rate of human interventions. So a person needs to come in and fix the situation less and less as time goes forward. So I guess that the robot is learning ways to correct when a battery doesn't go in, or doesn't grab it correctly, or doesn't place it in there correctly. So then it's having a larger database of fixing routines. Then the next part, they show the robot is walking more in the office, and that alludes to that the robot sees the environment and kind of maps it and sees where everything is. And so what they've done is they are trying to make sure that the robot can navigate consistently. They want it to navigate in any office on any given day, so they keep testing it, and maybe they're improving the software on it. But for sure, the robot is using the experience of walking in the office to improve. Finally, we're going to look at what Milan Kovac has said, an engineer at Tesla for TeslaBot. He's made some tweets, and I wanted to kind of summarize that. So the first tweet I'm looking at here is regarding, over the past couple of months, the AI data they've collected, deploying and training a neural net for Optimus robot. They're saying that this is completely self-contained, that this is running on Optimus's FSD computer inside, and that it works off of its camera data and onboard sensors, so that there's no centralized system that needs to be in place, so it can work anywhere in the future. They seem to be saying that they're focusing on making Optimus robot faster. They like to focus on increasing the success rate with less frequent mistakes. And they're saying that they're liking what they're seeing because they're seeing spontaneous corrections happening. I do think it's kind of funny that he's saying that Optimus is walking around the office without falling and a smiling face. He didn't say how many times they've fallen, and are they going to fall less? They didn't say they're working on making it fall less. Maybe it never has fallen, but I find it amusing. In regards to the way that Optimus is walking, they've improved it, making it faster, more stable. They call it being more confident. They improved the turning, and they've added the torso and arm sway. Not only does it appear more natural, but it seems to balance better like that, like a person. That's all for the update. Like it if you like it, dislike it if you disliked it. Make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.